the doctor, and I also tutor. So yeah, welcome. My live sessions are of course free. Gifts are not required, but they're appreciated. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the referrals, telling your friends, your cohorts, your enemies, whoever. Okay. But welcome to Study Buddy Sunday. And I'm gonna get us queued up and make sure that my on YouTube, yep, is going. Okay. And so, as always, my replays are available on YouTube for you to view. So, if you want to catch some of the problems that I did tonight and you want to go back over them, my YouTube channel is A Blessed RN. So, you can go there and watch it. Okay. And like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I appreciate it. All right. Let's get started. How's y'all's weekend been? It was my birthday yesterday. I was so excited because it fell on a Saturday, but it's not like when you're young and like you have like the young birthdays, like when you're like 21 and 22 and all of that jazz. Man, I'm telling you, we got these toes done, we got these hands done, got a nice massage, went out to eat, and I turned back in because we were out early. So my mother-in-law, she was going to spend the night with my girls, and we came back in. She said, "Y'all back already?" I said, "Yeah." So welcome to 36, I guess. All right, come on, thing. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. All right, come on, thing. So I'm not starting with not dimensional, metric conversions tonight. I just got some random questions that I pulled out, and we're just gonna go straight into it. Now, if we do need to go over some metric conversions, y'all let me know. Why is this thing not going? Y'all let me know in the comments below, and I will surely do some for us. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Come on, here we go. All right. Hey, Gracie, you're new to this. Okay. Do I use dimensional analysis? Yes, I do. I can use dimensional analysis, desired over half, or ratio and proportion. But what I really do push and stress and encourage you to learn is dimensional analysis. It's difficult at first when you don't know what's going on. But if you look at it not as math, but like a puzzle, and you want your goal, which is what the question is asking you. You want your equation to match up to what your goal is with the units on the top and the units on the bottom, then everything else crosses out. And it's just like chef kiss. Like the light turns on and you're not able to ever shut it off, okay? And you use the same method with metric conversions to weight based to heparin problems, like everything. You use it the same exact way. So as I do these steps, you're probably gonna get tired of me saying, what's the goal? What are you looking for? What are you starting with? But when you're in that test, you're gonna hear me in your head, okay? So, and it gets easier as you practice and do them the same way, okay? So this one is a drip problem. Siplera, I love your videos. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to fundamentals in July, so I'm hoping to get a start. Yes, well, fundamentals, that's not my baby. The math part is. So, I don't know how much fundamentals you'll get here, but I can teach you how to do the math. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, let's do it. All right, boom. A critical drip is infusing at 30 milliliters an hour. The concentration of the drug is 2 grams per 500 milliliters of D5W. How many milligrams per minute is the patient receiving? Now, if you think that you can solve this problem just by flipping your test open and seeing it, put a 1 in the comments. If you're not so sure about it, put it 2. Red, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. And y'all make sure throughout the live that y'all are double tapping on this screen. Let's let the algorithm know that we are studying. Tonight, we are going to defeat dosage in 2024. Nurses cometh. Nurse C gets degrees or at least pass dosage calc, right? All right. So I see a couple of twos, a one, and then some of y'all just like, y'all not gonna tell, but it's okay. It's all right. And this is a no fear zone, a no scare zone. We are a no judgmental zone. I'd rather you get the prop 1.5. That's cheating. I'd rather you get this wrong here and we work it out than on the test where it matters. If you get the 100%, you're 95%, you're 90%, okay? So boom. And if somebody starts cutting up, we'll just block them. So that's how that go. Hey, all right, boom. All right. So a critical drip. So we are looking for milligrams per minute. That's what the question is asking us to find. All right. So that's the first thing you want to do after you read the question is find what it's looking for. So our goal is milligram per minute. All right. So what are our puzzle pieces? What are the important things that we need to, what is that say? What's the important things that we need to pull out of this question, right? So we've got 30 milliliters per hour. So they go together. They're together. They are one puzzle piece, right? Just like one day is 24 hours. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Those stay together. So that's one unit, one puzzle piece, okay? And then it says your concentration is 2 grams per 500 milliliter, okay? And that's all that it's giving us. This D5W is just what type of solution that is in, so it don't really matter, okay? So what are we looking for? We are trying to get milligrams at the top and minutes at the bottom. Do we all concur? What's that? Not Wolf on Wall Street. Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you concur? Yes, I concur. All right, so we're looking for milligrams on the top and minutes on the bottom. Do we have any milligrams anywhere? No, we don't. But we're still going to start with what you're looking for. Always start with what you're looking for. That way you don't have to go and find it. Okay? It'll make it a lot easier. So I'm looking for milligrams, but I have a puzzle piece with a gram in it. So I know that I can do a conversion. So I'll have to put milligram on the top and gram on the bottom. We know that 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. And if you get confused on where to put the 1 and where to put the 1,000, remember this, that the 1 is going to go by the biggest unit of measure. So it takes 1,000 little little crumbs to make one big cookie. That's just how my mind works. And no, I'm not hungry. All right. So we've got gram on the bottom. So we need gram to go on the top to cross it out. Which puzzle piece has gram in it? This one does. Okay. So we'll do 2 grams over 500 milliliters. All right. Grams crosses out. Now we've got milliliters at the bottom. We need milliliters at the top. So we'll do this puzzle piece that has the milliliters in it, right? So 30 milliliters over an hour. Milliliters then crossed out. When you're doing dimensional analysis, it is important, it is required, it is mandatory that you write your units by the numbers. The math will math at the end once you cross out all of your units, okay? So that's where the juice is. That's where the important thing is. So now we've got milligrams at the top, which is our goal, but we need minute at the bottom. We have hour. So we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. Your hours cross out, and now you have milligrams on the top and minutes on the bottom. And now we can finally do some math. So what y'all think about that? Those who put the 2 and the 1.5 in the comments. All right, so let's do 1,000 times 2 times 30, and that's going to give you 60,000 on the top, and then divided by 500, divided by 60, and that's going to be 2 milligrams per minute. So what I do is, because I didn't write anything long out, right? Because you can get lost in those zeros, right? If you put the zeros on there and you don't put the zeros back into the calculator, you know a zero can make a world of difference in your answer. So what I do is I keep it in the calculator. The less steps you take, the less mistakes you make. So we're going to put all of our numbers in on the top and then press divide. So we'll do 1,000 times 2 times 30. I don't put the ones in because they don't make a difference. Then I'm going to hit divide. Boom. Now I'm put all my numbers in on the bottom and I'm going to hit divide. So 500 divided by 60. And then I'll hit the equal sign one time and I'll get my answer, which was 2 milligrams per minute. If y'all got 2, let me know. Or if I need to go over this problem again, let me know. We're just getting, this is the first one. So we've got plenty more. You'll get your steps in. Fool me. What you mean? Yes. Yes, you got it. Or yes, I need to go over it again. Got it. Keisha, you need me to go over it again or you got it? Okay, gotcha. So what we do when we read the question, yeah, y'all getting it? That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So we read the question, right? And it says what we're looking for, milligrams per minute. So when you see that per, automatically think line. So our goal is milligram over, well, line over the minute, right? Boom. So then we need to figure out what it is in the problem that we're going to use. Because some stuff you don't use, right? Some stuff is fluff, but this is not. So we have, it's going at 30 milliliter an hour. We've got 2 grams and 500 mLs. And that's all that it's giving us. So we're starting with what we're looking for, which is a milligram. Start with the first thing that's on the top. Always start with what you're looking for. We don't have any puzzle pieces on the side with a milligram in it, but we have one with a gram in it. So that's why we'll start with a conversion. And we know that 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. Okay, the name of the game is to put your units at the bottom and at the top and they cross out because we want everything to cross out except for what it is that we're looking for. So everything else besides milligram on the top and minute on the bottom has got to go. So these grams right here have got to go. So I'll use this one. I got my grams on the top and my 500 mLs on the bottom. Grams crosses out. Now I've got mLs on the bottom. So I need mLs at the top. So I'll use this puzzle piece. So 30 mLs over hour and then milliliters cross out. And then, we've got hour on the bottom. We need minute on the bottom. Okay. So I'll put 1 hour is 60 minutes. All right. Boom, boom. And my phone is going off and I have no clue where it is. Oh, we got a thunderstorm. That's why. Okay. And then multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, then divide the top by the bottom, and you'll get 2 milligrams per minute. It takes some practice and getting used to, but once you get it, you get it. Okay? So let's do this one. This is a weight-based problem. You're welcome. All right. So give drug C, 45 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth in 3 divided doses for a patient who weighs 69 pounds. A 75 ml bottle has been sent from the pharmacy and is labeled drug C, 125 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliter would the nurse administer per dose? So we read our question. So the first thing is to find out what is it asking me for. Y'all get used to that. So what is it asking us to find? Milliliter per dose. Exactly. So we want milliliter. Remember when I said per, automatically think of a line. Per dose. All right. So with a weight-based problem, we need 3 things. We need P, P, and P. And not the loan that the government gave to business owners during COVID that I wish I would have had a chance to take advantage of. But patient's weight, your prescription, and your product. Okay, so our patient's weight is 69 pounds. So I'll put that to the side. That's one puzzle piece. It's by itself. It's not 69 pounds per day, 69 pounds per something. It's just 69 pounds. So it's by itself. It's living single. Khadijah, okay? Regine, Maxine, whoever was in the house. Sinclair, whoever. And I'm telling my age, but anyways, so then the prescription, that's the order right here. So it says 45 milligrams per kilogram per day. Now look at that order, right? You see it says per day. So that is the amount, the whole amount that you would give in a day. We are looking on how many milliliters to give per dose. So that is when the frequency, this right here, comes into play. So that means that it needs to be given in 3 divided doses. So in one day, there are 3 doses. Do you all understand that? And I'm going to move myself because I think I'm in the way. So one day, you give 3 doses, okay? And then our medicine is 125 milligrams per milliliter, all right? Yay, Crystal! Miss Jones! Come on. Congratulations. 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 Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Awesome. I'm glad that you passed. I know that a weight has been lifted. All right. So what we are going to start with is what we're going to look for. Okay. And that's milliliter. So which puzzle piece has your milliliter in it? This one does, right? So just like when you're doing a puzzle and you put all the pieces out on the floor and they just fall everywhere, don't you have to pick them up and then try to like flip it into place? You do the same thing with these. Because milliliter is on the bottom here, you can flip it and put it on the top. It's still going to be the same puzzle piece. You just flipped it and to make it fit how you needed it to. If that makes sense, put a 1 in the comment for me. All right. So boom, milliliter over 125 milligrams. So our rules are you can flip it, but you cannot separate it and you cannot use a puzzle piece more than once. OK, so we've used this. That's done. So now we've got milligram on the bottom. We need milligram on the top. So we'll use this one right here. And they're in the 3-way, right? They're poly. But we'll keep them together. So boom, milligrams cross out. Now we've got kgs and days at the bottom. We need both of those gone, don't we? Because we've already got our milliliter. We need dose at the bottom. So we'll have to keep on lining stuff up and crossing it out. So let's do kilograms first, since it comes first. So our weight is in pounds, but we know that we can convert pounds to kilograms, right? So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms crosses out. And now we've got pounds at the bottom. We'll put 69 pounds. Anything over 1 is itself. So it's living single, remember? Put it over 1. It's not with anything else. And now we've got day left, right? So we know that there's a puzzle piece with day in it. So 1 day has 3 doses in it. Now days crossed out and you're left with milliliter per dose. That is the puzzle. And we've got the goal. So now all we have to do is the math part. So the math is going to take care of all of your conversions, all of your decimals, all of that. It's going to be taken care of at the end. So don't see, oh, I got pounds. Let me go ahead and convert it by dividing it by 2.2. What if at your school you didn't add enough decimals or you took away some decimals, because decimals make a difference. So then when you go to put it in the answer box on ATI or HESI, or your problem is something totally different than what is required. So you don't have to worry about that because the math is going to take care of itself. Okay. And that's another example of the more steps you take, the more mistakes you can make. Just put it in here. You're not changing nothing. You're not altering anything. You're just making sure you have your conversions and your units crossed out. All right, so boom, 45 times 69. And I'm not going to do the ones. Boom. Then we'll do divided by 125, divided by 2.2, divided by 3. And I got 3.76 numbers. So per dose, you divide per day, right? Makeup Gapster, what you mean? So this is what I got, 3.76. I'm going to write it again because I don't like how I wrote that. 3.76. So we're going to do a rounding check. If this asks us to round to the nearest tenth, or 1 decimal place, what would our answer be? All right, makeup by Gaster per dose. No. So because it's how many, because this is day, how much you would give in a day. If you were to do it any other way, you would have to divide it by 3 to get how much a dose was. I think that's what you're asking me. Okay, yes. So 3.8 is the right answer. If it asks us to round to the nearest whole number, what would we get? Okay, that's what I thought you was asking. I was like, I think that's what you're trying to say, but I don't know. I want to make sure I answer everybody's question that I can. 4. Yep. So y'all know how to round. Cool. You're welcome. All right. If y'all are liking the live so far, y'all are following along with this groove, y'all double tap. Hey, tap it. All right, let's do it. I did not have birthday cake yesterday. You know what? Oh my gosh. It just hit me. Anywho, the recommended children's dosage of drug A is 25 to 50 milligrams per kilogram in divided doses. Determine the safe dosage range for a child weighing 42 pounds. Okay, so we're going to figure out how many milligrams per day that the recommended safe dose is. So this is part of a problem that you'll probably see with pediatric safe dosage. Usually they give you the doctor's order, so that's the amount that you're supposed to give, and then they tell you what the safe dose range is. The safe dose range is the kind of safety net. That's where you can give it. All right, and that's the safe zone. So you're trying to see what the safe zone is. Then you use what the safe zone is and go back to your order to make sure that what's ordered falls into the safe zone. So if it's at or in between those numbers, then it's good. If it's outside of the range, then it's not safe. This is what you're doing in school now. Okay, then. And a lot of people get tripped up by this. So like, what about this part makes it really hard or difficult for you to get? Because I want to know. All right, boom, let's do it. So we are going to find out the range. So we'll use these numbers right here. And then our patient's weight is 42 pounds. Don't you touch that weight. Don't you touch it. Don't you touch it. Don't you touch it. So we'll do 25 is the least that you can give and 50 is the most. So we'll do 25 milligrams per kilogram per day. Our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. And then 42 pounds is the patient's weight. Kgs cross out, pounds cross out, and then you have milligrams per day. Okay? And that's it. So we'll do 25 times 42 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 477.27 milligrams per day. And then let's do the one for 50. So we'll do 50. We'll do it the same rate. 50 milligrams per kg per day times 1 kilogram per 2.2 pounds times 42 pounds over 1. Kgs cross out. Pounds crosses out. And you're left with milligram on the top and days on the bottom. And that's it. Some people say dimensional analysis is long, but I don't think so. Because if you did this another way, you would have to do 42 divided by 2, and then you would have to do the other part where you multiply the weight by your order. And like I said, that's more steps that you take. So you just write it out and divide the top by the bottom, and bada boom, bada bing. That's it. That's it. All right. So it's really up to you. I don't try to force dimensional analysis on anybody. And we can do another method if you would like, just let me know in the comments. But it truly is a same way type of deal. And it makes it easier as you learn it. And you don't have to memorize formulas. Either way it goes, you have to know your metric conversions. So it's up to you. So this is our answer, 47.27 to 954.54 dose over half. Yep. Miss Hayes. It does its thing for the little easier ones, but then once it gets hard, it's just like, oh man. If you're not strong in math, it takes you a while to get your desired. So if you're not strong at math, which a lot of people claim they aren't, then desired over half is just putting your units and crossing out, multiplying, dividing. If you're strong at math, using ratio and proportion or desired over half might be a better option for you if you like it. In school, I hated dimensional analysis because guess who didn't understand it? Me. I knew math and I was a pharmacy technician, so it was cool. Like I like, doing this, and that, and the third. But, I wasn't taught dimensional analysis the right way. I didn't even get it in chemistry, and I was in AP chemistry, and like, this doesn't make sense. But now it makes plenty of sense, and I see how it's actually really easy. So like I said, it's up to you. Okay. So the recommended dose of an IV antibiotic is 45 milligrams per kilogram per day, divided into 4 doses. The patient weighs 35 kilograms. Determine the amount in milligrams to be administered for 1 dose. So what is our goal? Milligram per dose. Okay. So we've got our patient's weight, which is 35 kilograms. And then we've got our order, which is 45 milligrams per kilogram in a whole day. So that is your amount in the whole day. But we are looking for your amount in 1 dose. So this says divided into 4 doses. So in 1 day, you give 4 doses. You can't kill these folks' kidneys by giving this whole amount. It's got to be metabolized out, right? Okay, so we're looking for milligram on the top and dose on the bottom. If we're looking for milligrams, we're going to start with milligrams. So this puzzle piece right here, 45 milligrams per kg per day. And you keep it just the way it looks. Don't try to change it. Don't separate it. Don't duplicate it. Don't do nothing but put it down. All right. Boom. We've used this and it's gone. So now we've got kilograms and days at the bottom. So my patient's weight is already in kilograms. So I'll go ahead and put it over 1. Kilograms crosses out. And now I've got day at the bottom. And I need dose at the bottom. So I'll use this. 1 day has 4 doses. And now my days crosses out and I have milligram per dose. What y'all think about that? And we'll do 45 times 35 divided by 4. And that's going to give us 393.75. Okay, let's do a rounding check. Rounding. All right, so if this asks us to round to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? You're making this ish easy. Yes, that is my whole entire goal, because it don't make sense to pay all this tuition and go to class and be stressed and anxious and worried about, am I going to pass? Am I going to be able to go and pass out medicines or continue on in my class? We got not enough nurses at the bedside. Because it's not a shortage of nurses. There's a whole bunch of nurses. It's just not a lot at the bedside. So I need y'all to come and save me, okay? Nurses coming. Come on. All right. So, yeah, that would be 394. Is it making sense to y'all? If it's making sense to you, double tap on that screen. Hey. All right. And always remember to put this at the end because they might take off for that. So remember to round. So if it tells you round to the nearest tenth, round to the nearest whole number, whatever, we need to get all of these points, right? We need to get all of these points. Because some people have to make 100, some people got to make a 95, some people have to make a 90, 85, whatever it takes. You can't afford to miss it. Because what if you did all of this beautiful work right here and then you got to the end and didn't round and they counted wrong? You know what I'm saying? Boom. So, whew, child. That's an easy peasy one. Oh, do y'all know how to do percent solution? Okay, I'm looking at the chat to see some of the comments that I might miss. Not a safe dose. Well, it wasn't a safe dose question. It was just trying to see how much you would give. Am I rounding? ICU dynamic girl. Yes. For some of them, I don't have like specific instructions on there because I use the opportunity to say round to the 10th or round to the 10th or to the whole number or whatever, so we can practice rounding. Yep. 5 and up, round up. 4 and down remains the same. Exactly. You got to drop out. Mimi Panini. No. What's going on? Oh, no. I'm just a little, okay, you're not there yet. I'm just a little old LPN. Don't do that. You are a big deal, okay? And don't let nobody ever try to make you feel like that either. I was a little old LPN for 10 years, making a difference in folks' lives. Girl, no. You are an N nurse, okay? You take a big old NCLEX and you got a big old license and big old CEUs and you get a big old check and you get a big old pat on your back for making it through nursing school. Like, don't minimize yourself. Don't minimize yourself. When you going to become a real nurse, baby, I am in real life, in real time. What do you mean? Sorry. Anywho, determine the amount of dextrose and sodium chloride in 250 milliliters of D5 half normal saline. So this is your percent solution. So anything over 100 is your percent, right? Okay. So percent solution is going to be the percent in grams over 100 mLs, okay? So this solution has two things in it. It's got dextrose and it's got sodium chloride. So we'll need to find out how much dextrose is in 250 mLs and how many dextrose, okay? Okay, you say you don't want to confuse yourself on this one. Well, it's a simple one, but hey, nonetheless, you choose. Okay, so to find the dextrose, we know that D5W is what? 5% dextrose, right? So that is 5%. So it'll be your 5 grams in your 100 ml. So if we have 250 mLs total, your milliliters cross out, you do 5 times 250 divided by 100. It's going to be 12.5 grams is in your bag. That's it. So then with your sodium chloride, it says half normal, right? So we know that normal is 0.9%. So half normal saline is going to be that 0.45%. So we'll do 0.45 grams in 100 mLs because that's your percent. And we got 250 total. That's in your bag. Your milliliters crossed out. You'll do 0.45 times 250. And that's going to be that many grams. That's it. Nothing too hard. It's just different. It's different. And if you haven't seen it before, oh my gosh, Miss Haynes, don't do that. Don't hype me up. Please don't hype me up. It's just different. Some programs use percent solutions, some of them do not. But I just try to throw things in there that you might see. She said, that's right. I said, I'm going to sit this one out. But I mean, it was simple. But hey, moving on. Okay. Back into it. All right. So a patient is receiving drug in IV at 10 milliliters per hour. The concentration of drug in is 50 milligrams in 400 milliliters of D5W. How many micrograms per minute is the patient receiving? Okay. So we are looking for what? Micrograms per minute. Okay. So what are our puzzle pieces? They go together, so we'll keep them together. 10 milliliters per hour. And then we've got drug in is 50 mgs in 400 mLs. So they go together. We'll keep them together. And that's all that we have for puzzle pieces, all right? Micrograms. It's okay because we're going to start with what we're looking for. So our puzzle pieces have milligrams, right? Right here. It's not a microgram. You can't start with that because that's not what we're looking for. We always start with what it is that we're looking for. So micrograms. Lord, not micrograms. Yes. So we know that microgram will go on the top and milligram will go on the bottom. We know that 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms because the milligram is the bigger unit of measure. The 1 goes by it and the 1,000 goes by the little smaller pieces. Because remember, it takes 1,000 little crumbs to come together and make one big cookie. You're welcome. Okay. So now we got milligrams at the bottom. We'll use this puzzle piece right here. So 50 milligrams over 400 milliliters. All right. We've used it. It's done. Milligrams crosses out. Now I've got mLs on the bottom. So then we'll do 10 milliliters over an hour. Your milliliters crosses out. Now I've got hour at the bottom. Okay. And then we'll do 1 hour over 60 minutes. And hours crosses out, and now we have microgram per minute, and that's it. That's it. You've done this super hard problem that you was like, oh, it's a microgram. Oh, look, you're finished. She's lit because of her birthday. Oh my gosh, don't you start. Please don't you start. Don't you start. All right. I'm not lit because of my birthday. I'm lit because this is dosage calculations and y'all are understanding this. And it's going to be okay. Okay? Okay. So 20.83 repeating. All right. I promise you, y'all, she will get y'all to pass this test. I'm trying, sis. I am trying. Okay. So if we had to round to the nearest 10th, what would our answer be? Somebody gotta make this shit fun. Because somebody gotta do it. Because from what I heard, they not teaching. I'm like, oh Lord. They throwing y'all out to ADI and HESI and like, hey, do this, pass it. It's mandatory. All right, 20.8. Yep. So if it was rounded to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? Mimi Panini. Yes. 21. All right. I turned 21 yesterday. Cake work, birthday cake. Exactly. So let's check in. Let's talk about it. How are y'all feeling about dimensional analysis since we're a couple of problems in? We've got a couple of different problems up under our belt. How are y'all feeling about it? Good? Is making sense? Is it sticking? Okay. Moving on. My program always talks about the NCLEX rounding rules. Is this a thing? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, wow, oh, wow. Hold on. I need more but I think I got it. Okay, I love it. All right, program round. Okay, rounding rules. What are the rounding rules? Look, it's been a while since I took an NCLEX, and I don't know about the new next gen. So it's what are they saying, sis? What are they saying? She said, "I'm blessed." Yes, that's the part sticking. It feels good that it makes sense. Cool. This is the only formula that works for me. Yeah, yeah. You brushed me up for mid surge. Okay, okay. That's what's up. Okay, so this is another what you call it? Percent solution problem. Hey TK. So what we'll have to do is, so we've got drug A that's ordered 150 mgs, and then you've got drug A 15%, and that's all that it says. Okay. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Okay. So how many mLs are we going to administer? So that's what we're looking for. So remember, percent solution is going to be the percentage in grams over 500, not 500, Lord, 100 mLs. Because anything over 100, you're going to make it as a percent, right? Because percent means centimeter, 100, right? So we've got 15 grams in 100 mLs, right? So that is your concentration. If we're looking for milliliters, which is your goal, we can now use this as a puzzle piece. Okay? So we are looking for 150 milligrams. All right? So boom. If we're looking for milliliters, what are we going to start with? Our milliliters. So 100 mLs over 15 grams. Now we've got grams at the bottom, but this puzzle piece is milligrams, right? So we'll just put in the conversion. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. Boom, boom. So now we can put in our milligrams. So 150 milligrams is not with anything. It's single. Who did we say? Sinclair. So, or Overton. No, they got married because they got married. What's the guy's name with the dreads? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. Was it Kyle? Yeah, Kyle. But then he started talking to Maxine. I don't know. Okay. So milligrams crosses out. Everything is now gone except for milliliters. Mimi, I'm talking about the show Living Single. It was a 90s sitcom. Did you get the 15 grams from the percent that we had? Yes. Yes. Because remember, the percentage is right here. So your percent solution is, boom, the percent in grams over 100. So that's how we got that. Yeah. Anything greater than 1, we round to the tenths if it's not specified. Well, I guess so then. If that's what they're saying that's on the NCLEX, then you better listen to them. But I know a lot of people, they round to the tenths, but some ask you to round to, some schools have you putting like 50 million numbers, honestly. And I was just like, what in the heck? So just do whatever they tell you to do to pass it, and make sure the instructions are there, and you round accordingly. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, but I don't remember if it was like a specified round. I don't even remember. It wasn't even a whole bunch of math on the NCLEX, to be honest. So yeah, like I had the simplest of the simplest dosage calc question on NCLEX. Yep. Okay. Did you get, okay. Oh, boom, boom. That's what we got to look forward to. Okay, I have an LPN program interview Thursday. What do they usually say? Oh, I don't know. I want to interview. I just took some tests. Like, I submitted my application and took an ACT. I didn't even have to take T's or whatever it is they make y'all take. I know I'm telling my age, whatever. So I don't know. Y'all know what they ask on these interviews. Y'all help a sister out. They want you to be used to seeing it to prepare for boards. Okay. And she said who living single is, yeah, that was the show. Whatever the problem calls for, just read. I have to take ATI for drug competency. Okay. She said, why do you want to be a nurse? Oh my gosh. Y'all are hilarious. Okay, so yeah, that's how that goes, you know. So I got 1, and then I didn't again, and I got 10. So let's see. I got 1 too. So 100, let's see. 100 times 150 divided by 15 divided by 1,000. 1. I got 1. Okay, you added a 0. See, I told you them zeros be zeroing. They will mess up your answer. I'm telling you. So I'm sitting this one out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just, oh my gosh. All right. It's a milliliter per hour question. The healthcare provider orders drug A 1 gram over 1 hour IV piggyback every 24 hours. The concentration of drug A is 1 gram in 250 mLs of normal saline. Calculate the infusion rate milliliter per hour and round to the whole number. All right. Mimi, you being disruptive. You got folks out there running from you because you're running from these problems. Come back here. All right. So when you have problems like this problem is kind of full of fluff, and you got to know what it is that you're looking for. So this part, how you can identify your fluff is to use your goal. So what is it that is asking you to find? Is it asking for a gram? Is it asking for a milligram? Is it asking for a microgram? It's not, right? So guess what's fluff? Okay. And it says that 1 gram is in 250 mLs. Okay, boom. So that's what we're looking for, the order amount. So fluff. So what is our volume? So we're looking for volume over time. How much to give the patient over how long? So it says 250 mLs is what it's available in, and we're giving it over 1 hour. Okay. So what is an IV piggyback? IV piggyback just simply means that they've got normal saline, D5W, D10, whoever, lactator wrinkles, whatever, going in as their primary line. So what you're going to do is hang your IV antibiotic higher. That's your secondary, and it's going to flow on in. And then once it gets done, the primary line is going to start back. That's exactly what an IV piggyback means. It's not even important to solve this question. So don't let words, acronyms, whatever, the boogeyman scare you on these problems, because you know how to do things. And then this 24 hours, that is a frequency. That is how often that you would give this medicine. It says that it is to go over 1 hour. So that's how fast you run it, and you give it every 24 hours, which is daily. Okay. So don't let that freak you out either. So what is our answer here? If we're looking for milliliter per hour, why was you freaked out, Navy Vet 88? Yeah, that's it. And you need to type that again, Nicoletti. I don't know how to say these people's names sometimes on here. And put an exclamation mark. Say it with your chest, because you were right. You were positively right. We need milliliter per hour. And that's what the goal was, right? Milliliter per hour. That's it. 250 mLs per hour. See, we got through the fluff and we answered the question. So I just wanted to show y'all some of these things, you know, in real life, in real time. Like, okay, you know things. You know how to read and pick out the parts that you need. And it is what it is. You don't have to times it by 60, multiply it, divide it, or whatever you try to do. Exactly. The fluff was freaking me out. But that's why you use your goal. That's how you can get through the problem. That's how you weed through the fluff. What is it that it's asking me for? Yes. Hi. Yay, I go to school in Alabama. Where are you? Okay, where are you? Where are you? Cool. She said like now. I'm weak. Oh man. No, don't let this fluff freak you out. And that's why it takes practice, and it takes going through them and saying, okay, what's the goal, right? Southern Union and Opelika. Okay, I'm in Springville. So it's not too far. So, about 2 hours maybe. I don't know. If you go down those country roads, I don't like going the back ways. I had to go down like 65. All right. Drug Y, 50 mLs is to infuse over 30 minutes, okay? The mini drip tubing, thank you for liking. Yeah, like the lives. Come on, like it, like it. Appreciate it. Double tap. All right, so anywho, the mini drip tubing is calibrated at 60 drops per milliliter. Calculate the drops per minute, and we're going to round to the whole number. So when you have these problems like this with the drops per minute, then you have to round that to the whole number, because have you ever walked in the kitchen and looked at the faucet and it was like half a drip? No, it was either one drip or no drips, right? Boom. So what is our goal? Our goal is to find drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. Okay, so drug Y is 50 mLs to infuse over 30 minutes. So we've got our volume, which is 50, and our time, which is 30 minutes. We've got our drop factor is 60 drops per milliliter, and a drop factor is simply how many drops does it take in the chamber that you squeeze and the fluid comes out? How many drops does it take to administer 1 milliliter of the solution? That's it. That's all a drop factor is. All right. So now, since we're looking for drops, what do we start with? Start with your drops. 60 drops per ml times. Now we got milliliter at the bottom, so we need milliliter at the top. 50 milliliters over 30 minutes. And you see, we keep your puzzle pieces together and we're lining up units. I've always written out my units by my numbers and then the math at the end, right? So now we've got drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. We can now solve the problem. So 60 times 50 divided by 30 is going to be 100 drops per minute. You better put that exclamation mark. Yes. Okay. Any questions on the drops per minute ones? Okay. The physician has ordered drug I, 250 mgs IV Q12 hours. The pharmacy has supplied drug I, 2-gram powder for injection vial. The directions state reconstitute. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Reconstitute with 4.5 milliliters of normal saline for an approximate volume of 5 milliliters with the concentration of 400 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters will the nurse give to the client for one dose? So the ingredient that's in the Krabby Patty no, seriously, the way that you will never ever get a reconstitution problem wrong again is to remember this. Concentrate on the concentration. The amount that's in the bottle doesn't matter. The amount that is added, which is your diluent, does not matter. Tic-tac-toe, roll your boat, all that stuff does not matter. We want to know the concentration after the powder, because reconstitution is just taking a powder and adding a liquid to it, shaking it up and making it a liquid so that you can give it to your patient. Okay. So the concentration, it says the concentration is 400 milligrams per milliliter. That is what you use. Okay. So what is our goal? Milliliter per dose. So milliliter per dose. So this says that there is 250 mg's, and that is one dose that you would give every 12 hours. So the frequency, unless it's asking you about how much you would give in a day, the frequency don't matter. All right. So that's fluff. Don't try to put everything in the question into the equations, because everything don't belong there. Remember, you got to look at your goal. We need milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. So 250 milligrams is one dose. And then we have 400 milligrams per milliliter is our final concentration. So we're looking for milliliters. We start with this puzzle piece. We're going to flip it so that the milliliters are on the top. So ml over 400 milligram. We got milligrams at the bottom. We need milligrams to go on the top so that they cross out. So 250 milligrams per one dose. And then milligrams crosses out. And guess what we're left with? Milliliter per dose. And that's it. So 250 divided by 400 is 250 divided by 400. 0.625. So rounding time, if it asks us to round to the nearest tenth, what would our answer be? Affirm yourself, but you had to reconstitute. Yes, we did. We reconstituted it. And when you reconstituted it, it gives you a concentration. You use the final concentration. All this right here is fluff. This is fluff. What this part right here? Fluff. This is what you want to do. The concentration. The milligrams per milliliter, the grams per milliliter, the units per milli equivalents per liter, whatever, the Buddha boots per doodadoots, okay? The concentration, that's it. After you have reconstituted it, that's what you use. Okay, so rounding it to the nearest tenth, and it'll be 0.6. And always remember, you have to have your leading zero, but no trailing zero. So you have to put your zero in front of your decimal. They will count off for that, because it might look like just 6. And that could be a med error, because 0.6 is definitely different than 6. That's so much more than what you needed to give. Okay. Yep. And look, I know about it because, baby, we was on paper charting. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Ah. Y'all want to do this one? It's different, but I'll do it. Yeah. Nope. I got 2 yeses and 1 nope. Let's see. Okay, that's okay. Yup, I got a Mimi, you don't count. You be running. All right, you a track star. Wow. All right, so listen. The total, you're gonna make a total of 300 milliliters from a can of liquid meal using 3/4 strength. Okay. What amount is the liquid meal and what amount is the water? So we know that anything that you want to weaken, you add water to, right? So we need a total of 300. All right. So it's going to be your total. So we want to know what, 3/4 of that, because we need the whole can, which is 300. So we need to know 3/4 of that, okay? And then that's going to be your liquid meal. Then you would take that number and you subtract it from your 300, and that's going to be your 1/4 water. So you can do it like a ratio and proportion. I think that's kind of the easiest way. Or you could do 0.75 times 300. So it's either way you want to set it up, but I do it like this. So we'll do what, 300 times 3 is what, 900 equals 4x. So we want to get x by itself. So x is going to be 900 divided by 4, which is 225 milliliters. So that is going to be your liquid meal, okay? Liquid meal. So if you got 300 total, right? And your liquid meal is 225. I'm going to say LM because that's what liquid meal stands for. We need to figure out how much is going to be water. So we'll do 300 minus 225, and that's going to be 75 milliliters of water. See? So you're just finding out different parts. So how much is going to be your liquid meal that's in the can, and then how much water you're going to add to it. She's at loss. Okay. So basically, you got a can of, you need to make a total of 300 milliliters. And I ain't no artist, so y'all get up off me, bruh. Okay. So this is going to be 300 milliliters. We want, so if you break it into fourths, right? 3/4 of those has to be liquid meal. 1/4 has to be water. So in order to have the total amount, 1/4 has got to be water, 3/4 has got to be liquid meals. So basically, you just do 3/4 times your 300, and that's going to give you your 225. And then you take your total amount, which is 300, you subtract your 225 from it, and you get 75. So that's going to be your water part, and this right here is your liquid meal. That's it. I did it a different way. Just kind of see if it went around the block a little bit. You better numerator and denominator that. Yes. Help them out in the comments. Exactly. Yes, and that's a different way, because some of these problems you can look at it differently and see. Yeah, 300 minus your 300 times 0.75. There's something in the water, because this is a new, oh my gosh, me. What type of dosage question is? It's called what you call it? Oh my gosh, what? I just went blank. It's like the tube feeding titration. Oh my gosh. Keisha, I got you. We'll revisit this one. Oh man, what is it called? Dilution. Dilution. Yeah, that's what it is for your feeding. Ooh, it's a heparin problem. It's a heparin problem. Heparin. Don't get a headache. Take you some Tylenol, sis. Come on. You got it. It's gonna be okay. All right. Man, I had this whole thing like typing. I guess I was asking my husband, was he going to the store to get some ice cream? And I had hit the little microphone button. So like everything that I've said for like the past couple of minutes has been translated into a text message. I guess that's what I get for trying to be greedy, huh? But I didn't have any cake yesterday, so I think that I could, anywho. All right, so heparin. What is heparin for? LPNs don't touch this in IV form. Okay. What state are you in? Because I think it's different for different states. But you're still going to have to figure it out. So what if it's on the NCLEX? Because NCLEX is going to be the same question for all the states. Because if you're in one state, then you can go to another state with endorsement, and get a multi-state, especially if they're in the compact states. All right, so the nurse is taking care of a patient who has been diagnosed with a STEMI. Oh my gosh, what is a STEMI? And yes, it is a blood thinner anticoagulant, right? Boom. So what's a STEMI? I be trying to give y'all a little piece of pharmacology and med surg thrown in there, you know. You don't want no parts of that STEMI. I don't want no parts of that STEMI either. But it's a heart attack, right? MI, ST elevated, MI. So the ST perverts to the part on the EKG. You know, you got the QTRS, you know, simplex. Yeah. So it's a heart attack. So they've had a heart attack. So did you know that after a heart attack, the thing that you're most likely to perish from is a dysrhythmia? You don't die because like the heart muscle, didn't get blood to it. It's because now it don't function right. Some of that muscle has died. And so instead of it going lub dub, it go. So the blood does not flow like it's supposed to. And when the blood don't flow like it's supposed to, it clots. Yeah, like AFib. Exactly. Right. Or like a SVTs or PBCs or any of those other dysrhythmias that you can talk about in school. I'm trying not to crack up. I'm trying to make this relatable. So, because that might be one of your questions. Because I always thought like, you know, in a heart attack, like, okay, it's just because the heart muscle, has died. No, it's because you get a dysrhythmia and then your butt can throw a clot and then that clot can go to the lungs and that'll be what? A PE, a pulmonary embolus, or it can go to your brain and you can have a stroke, right? Boom. So yeah. So therefore, you're going to be on a blood thinner after you have a STEMI. So the patient has an order to receive a heparin bolus of 25,000 units following a continuous IV drip of 19 units per kilogram per hour. Your patient weighs 233 pounds. You have a heparin vial labeled 5,000 units per ml. What will you give your patient for the initial bolus? And then what will you set your IV pump for a continuous drip if you have a 250 milliliter bag that is labeled 40,000 units of heparin? All right, so this is where the tricky part gets in and folks be tripping up and thinking like, I can't do this. All right, the B word, bolus. A bolus is just a one-time administration of a drug. Okay, so we said that this was an anticoagulation drug, right? We're trying to keep our patient from clotting and throwing the clots. So we've got to get that medicine in the bloodstream, and it's got to be enough because it's a weight-based medicine, because you see it says 19 units per kilogram per hour, right? And you got the patient's weight. So we've got to give enough in the blood to work. So you're going to have to start with a bolus, a one-time administration. So a bolus is going to be separate than the drip. So you have the bolus to get the patient started, to get the blood, the medicine in the blood where it needs to be. The drip is going to maintain that every hour. It's going to maintain it at that level. And then we're going to check with our labs. We're going to use our coag labs, right, to check and make sure that they're not getting too much. Because if they get too much, then they can bleed out, and that they're getting enough, because if they don't have enough, then they're going to clot. Does anybody know the type of labs that you would use to monitor or titrate your heparin? Bolus is a hot shot. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, okay. So you are going to use, PTT, a PTT, right? Exactly. A PTT is going to be for your heparin. You also have another lab called an anti-XA or anti-10A. So that's what I learned. I went to the hospital. I was like, what is an anti-10A? Like, what? We didn't learn that. We learned PT, PT, PTT, PT, INR. And I'm like, where did that come from? So we know that our PT and INR is for our Coumadin, right? Yeah. So our APTT is for our heparin and also your anti-10A. All right, boom. That's your dose of pharmacology. Don't ask me for anything else tonight. Moving on. So your hot shot, like Fumi said, is going to be your heparin. So we're going to give, 25,000 units, and then you're going to draw it up out of this bottle. This bag is going to be reserved for your drip, okay? So it's a two-part question. So the first part is going to be our bolus. So we are looking for how many milliliters to give to this patient. We're going to draw it up in our vial, and then you're going to hook it up, and you're going to give it to the patient, and then that's it. So once you do the bolus, that information that's on here about the bolus is done. Just like we use our puzzle piece one time and it's done, all that bolus stuff is going to be done, and then we'll do our drip, okay? So we are looking for 25,000 units, and we have a vial that is 5,000 units per ml, okay? So we're looking for milliliter. What are we going to start with? Milliliter. So ml over 5,000 units times our 25,000 units. 1, 2, 3. Did I do too many zeros? Let me write it again, because I think I did. Let's see. 25. There you go. I did put too many zeros. All right, so units crosses out, and you're left with what it is that you're looking for. Do you see how we've done all kind of different problems with dimensional analysis, and we've done it the same exact way? Starting with a goal, putting our puzzle pieces on the side, start with what we're looking for, crossing out the units, and that's it. Boom. So it's that 2,500 divided by 5,000. It's going to be 0.5 milliliters for your bolus, okay? Now that's done. You've drawn it up. You've given that to the patient. So now we need to set up our drip, and it's going to be on an IV pump. So it will never, ever, in the ever of ever be given by gravity, because you need to make sure that this patient is getting this medicine, right? So if they like had an IV in the median AC, and they do like this and kink it up, then it's going to stop the flow of gravity, isn't it? So it's always got to be on IV pump. So IV pump is Blue's Clues for milliliter per hour. All right. So milliliter per hour is for our drip. Okay. So we're finding the drip now. Okay. So remember, this is a weight-based problem. PPP. Our patient's weight is 233 pounds. Okay. Our prescription is 19 units per kilogram per hour. And then our product is the medicine, the bag of heparin, and it's 40,000 units in 250 mLs of diluent. Okay. So if we're starting with milliliters, what do we start with? We start with milliliters, right? That's your puzzle piece right there. 250 mLs over 40,000 units. Now we've got units on the bottom. We need units at the top. This puzzle piece. So 19 units per kg per hour. Units crosses out. Now we've got kgs and hours at the bottom. Hour can stay, but kg has to go. So 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds. And then we've got 233 pounds is our patient's weight. Put it over 1 because it's not with anything. It's by itself. And everything has crossed out except for milliliters on the top and hours at the bottom. And that's it. So 250 times 19 times 233 divided by 40,000 divided by 2.2. And that is 12.576. All right, let's round. If it asks us to round to the nearest tenth, what would our answer be? Mm-hmm. 12.6. Mimi, you want me to re-explain the first question? Are you talking about the bolus part? If it asks us to round to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? Pink DJ, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, gotcha. You had a typo. All right, so the bolus. The bolus. Whoop. Boom. Bolus. It says a heparin bolus of 25,000 units. So that's what we're looking to find. That is our desired, if you will, okay? And then you have a vial that's labeled heparin 5,000 units per ml. So 5,000 units per ml. And so you will be looking on how much to give to the patient. So you want milliliters. So we'll do, is the bolus always because you're drawing up the medicine. You need to draw out how many milliliters to give to the patient. Yep. See, I multiply all the numerators, then the denominators, then divide the sums I got. Does that make sense? Yeah, John. I think it's Johnny. I hope I said it right. That's what you do. But what I do is I don't write all of that down, because you see how I almost made a mistake with a zero earlier, and I was like, wait a minute, skirt, that's too many zeros. What if you put your zeros down, right? And you put that in the calculator, and it was wrong. And you know how a zero can make a real big difference in your question. So I keep it in the calculator. I don't write all this stuff. I don't do multiply, write it down. Then go on the bottom, multiply, write it down. And then you got to go back to the calculator and put it in, then divide that. And then that's too many steps. The more steps you take, the more mistakes that you can make inadvertently sometimes. So that's why I just do the calculator trick. But if your way gets you through, cool. I'm just here to try to make things as smooth and simple and easy as for you as possible. So anytime we see a weight-based problem, use PPP, absolutely, because that's what you're going to need: the patient's weight, the prescription, and your product. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. All right, all of that. How y'all feel? How you feel? How do you feel? I'm gonna do one more problem, and then I'm gonna see if my husband gonna give me some ice cream. Well, I don't even think I sent the other message because it had all of those words in it. Dang, I didn't. I already did and came back. What? Did you get me some? Okay. Much better about dimensional analysis. Good. Awesome. Okay, I got it. All right, cool. All right, so this one is like a time. You got to figure out tell him to go back. He will. He's a good man. He's sweet to me. He really is. Like, if I asked him to, he would. Maybe this is my signal that I don't need the ice cream. I don't know. Doctor orders a 500 ml bag of IV normal saline to be infused at 20 drops per minute. The drop factor is 10 drops per ml. That's a good man, Savannah. You start IV infusion at 0:33. At what time will the infusion be complete? Alrighty. So we are looking for time. So when that's the goal that we're looking for, right? So our goal is going to be hours. I know it says time, but we're going to be looking for the hours, because listen to me. When you find the hours and you get an answer, and say your answer has a decimal in it, the number that's in front of the decimal, the whole number, is going to be your hours. The number behind the decimal is going to be your minutes. And we're going to take all those numbers behind the decimal and multiply it by 60 to get the number of minutes in real time. Okay. So what we got: to do is to look for hours, right? So we have a 500 bag, right? 500 ml bag, and it's going at 20 drops per minute. Our drop factor is 10 drops per milliliter, okay? And we are looking for the hours, all right? So if we're looking for hours, do we have a puzzle piece that starts with hours or has hours in it? But we always start with what we're looking for. You start with what you're looking for. You don't have to go and find it, okay? So we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, okay? Just a simple conversion. All right, so now we got a puzzle piece with minutes in it now, right? Let me click on the screen and stuff so it won't think that I'm not on. All right, boom. So 20 drops per minute. So we use that puzzle piece. Minutes, wait a minute. Minutes crosses out, okay? We had to flip-flop it, right? So then we got drops on the bottom. We need drops on the top. So 10 GTT over ml. We use that puzzle piece, right? And your drops cross out. And now we've got milliliter on the bottom. So we'll do 500 mLs. It's not with anybody. It's over 1. It's by itself, right? So milliliters crosses out. Now we're left with hours. So we'll do 10 times 500 divided by 60 divided by 20. I got 4 hours, 0.166 is repeating. Okay, did y'all all get that? Oh, he texted me back, y'all. He texted me. You had ice cream in the fridge. Do I? No, I don't. Oh, we talking about the ice cream I had from Papa Do's. That don't count. I don't want that. All right, boom. So she said no. You try to do it a real simple way, and you couldn't do it the real simple way. You had to do it where you lined up your units, okay? How come you put that with an X? Huh? Oh, because I used it. Because, yeah, I just cross them out as I go. That's it. Is that the X that you were talking about? Okay, so yeah, so once you use it, you can't use it again. You can't separate stuff. You can't use it again because once if you're doing a puzzle in real life, you use one puzzle piece at a time, right? And that's it. You don't get to use it twice. So that's it, right? This is 4.16 hours. So this part is your hour part. This part is your minute part. So we are going to take your 0.16 and multiply it by 60. This is going to give us how many minutes it is. So 0.16 times 60 is 9.6, which is going to be 10 minutes, okay? Round it to the nearest minute. So then we've got 4 hours and 10 minutes. So our start time is at 03:30 in the morning, right? And we're going to add 4 hours and 10 minutes to it. So just a simple addition. So this side is your minutes. This side is your hours. So that's going to be 40 minutes. And then this is going to be 07. So our end time is 0740. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SKP. Kick it. Just kick it. Yeah. How y'all like it? Y'all let me know. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Let me know how you feeling. Nobody said nothing. She said, can I sit? Where are you, Fubi? Like, I have no clue. I have no clue where you are even at. Talk about, so can I sit by you? I'm tickled. Okay, in Texas. See, that's going to take a while. I'm in Alabama. So, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm going to make it in time. So you guys, if you haven't already, YouTube, you can look on the replay on there for the replay of this and other sessions that I have done. There are also questions broken down to individualized playlists with dimensional analysis, desired over half, and ratio and proportion. I'm going to cut off YouTube now so that it will be available.